corporate recruiter here to review your resume so that you can get a job. The resume we have up first is a bad one. It is garbage. And the reason I know that is they told me their ratio. A ratio is how many applications it takes to get an interview. And if you have a application to interview ratio of 1 to 50, your resume is okay. If it's anything higher than 1 to 50, it's bad. And this is 150 plus. So I'm safe to say this is a bad resume. It is garbage. And nobody's really moving them forward for interviews. So let's find out why. And this is for a full stack software developer. So what we need for a full stack software developer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, React or React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL, NoSQL, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, Cloud, CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, and a bonus for all that other stuff. So recruiters only have 20 seconds to find that stuff. So people call this the recruiter scan. Candidates do. I've actually never heard another recruiter ever call this a recruiter scan. But basically, we only have 20 seconds. The recruiter that takes longer than that is going to get fired for being inefficient. So can I find this in 20 seconds? No, because of the ratio. And go. All right. Nope, this does not count. Where's your education? Okay, degree. Okay, good. Develop responsive, user-focused with React. Okay, good. TypeScript, CSS, and whatever that is. UI principles, bridged front-end and back-end with C#, so that's 2-ish. 3, authorized, secured, cross-functional, and that's it. So, yeah, this is not good. It had, like, the first part that I wanted, but it didn't have much of anything else. And if you can tell, this formatting is really, really bad. So the formatting you want to use is this one. This is the formatting that I created. It works. This is like once people do this stuff, they end up getting like a 1 in 7 on their ratio. So use this formatting, even if you're a software engineer. The only people that should not use this formatting, and I will be perfectly honest, is very, very high level managers or people who have more jobs than years of experience or heavily contractors. If you are one of those three, do not use this. It will not work. But everybody else can use this. This is how to do it. The link is below. It's free. And the entire point of formatting, to be clear, is not that I'm going to look at this and say, oh, this is ugly, I'm going to reject them because it's ugly. No, that's not how that works. It's literally the 20 seconds. The more chaotic and crazy your resume is with more crazy bolding, the less time I have to actually read it in the 20 seconds I have. So that is why. And this is pretty difficult to read. This stuff pops, and you can't use anything in a skills section, so it doesn't matter. This stuff pops, and then this is the stuff I actually care about, and it's really hard to read. It's like almost faded, and that takes time. And their education is all the way at the bottom. If you graduate, if your degree is not related to the role, then you can put it on the bottom. Otherwise, you want your education up at the top. So then we go into the bullet points, and the bullet points start off actually okay, right? Develop responsive, user-focused interface with React, TypeScript, CSS, good. And then CSS, I don't need that, aligning design with modern UI principles. But you also don't tell me what you did. So the reason this is okay but not great is it's not showing me your qualifications, and there is a difference between a keyword and a qualification. So a keyword is something that the hiring team is looking for. In this case, you could consider everything up here keywords. Problem is, we're not looking for keywords, we're looking for qualifications. And what a qualification is a keyword plus how you did it, plus the reason or result of you doing it, plus where you did it. So unless it needs to have all 4 of those things. If it does not have all 4 of those things, it does not count as a qualification, which is why skills sections don't count, because it does not show me where you did it, which is a key part of that. And then you go down here, and the reason the sentence is mid is just like, it doesn't tell me the reason or result, right? Like, to enhance usability and consistency. Okay, but like, what was the website? What was it for? Was it for a SaaS? Was it for a big conglomerate? Was it for startups? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Then we go down here and bridged front end and back end with C# and SQL. What do you mean bridged? You're trying to use fancy corporate language. Don't do that on your resume. You can do that in emails. Never do that on your resume. Just say used, right? Use C#, SQL, and Docker to create front end and back ends to and API integrations, right? Like, again, this is kind of a chaotic sentence. I want it to be the what, the how, the reason or result. And you're kind of not really giving me the reason or result or the how. And then here, again, this is not really what I would be looking for. You also continuously mention UI UX, and UI UX is a bonus. I did forget to put it in there for full stack, but it can be a bonus. The problem is it's not a key thing we're looking for, right? Like the first thing is TypeScript. Also, here's the thing. I don't see JavaScript. That's a huge deal breaker. If you are front end, you need to put JavaScript, right? I'm including full stack in that because that contains front end. I don't care how basic it is. I don't care how the fact every single person uses JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. You need to put those up there in addition. Your first sentence should be developed a website using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React for our X and Y that whatever that is you did. And then I go down here and I do not see, here's the problem. I see Azure, which is cloud. The problem is it's Azure DevOps. They may not know that is different. And the fact is, if Java is different than JavaScript, then Azure DevOps can be different than Azure. That may not be cloud. So I know that's enraging, but that is the way the mind works when they read this. And I'm including the hiring managers too. So what you need to do is, I'm not going to say delete this all and start again because I don't think that's necessary. But you do need to change the formatting, right? Like this entire section should be deleted, replaced with your education. And then you should not have your core courses. That doesn't matter. Just need to see that you graduated. Then nothing here should be bolded. This should be Arial 10.5. And then I need you to write these sentences the way I just described them, with a what you did, how you did it, the reason, the result. And if it's basic, you still need it, right? Like, again, this is why we're putting JavaScript on here. I am aware of how insane that sounds. You're like, well, I've got like, what, 2 years experience? Yeah, they got like a year and a half experience. And you want me to put in JavaScript and HTML? Yes, you do if you're going for anything involving front end, which full stack does involve. So that is why this resume is garbage. And that doesn't mean you're garbage. I want to be clear. That means your resume is garbage because sometimes the best candidates have the worst resumes. That can happen. But I want to make sure that you can fix this so you can get an interview and provide for yourself and your family. And if you need any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I just want to thank everybody for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, reposting it, sharing it with your friends and family. That really does help me out. And all of my members who get access to my videos early, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And let's go to the next resume. This is a electrical engineer. Technically, they put in systems engineer. The problem was I just could not find enough systems engineer jobs. I found like 1 or 2 of them. So this may not be accurate for systems engineers, but it is accurate for at least electrical engineers in general, which is at least hopefully close enough. So this person says they have 150 to 1, which is not good. Which is actually really shocking because this is a really hot market. Like anything involving electrical engineers or PLC, very hot. There were jobs that were easy apply that have been up for like 3 to 4 days and did not reach 100 applicants. So you got to remember that the job market is not the job market. It's not a singular entity. It is like 200 different job markets in a trench coat. And right now, the trench coat job market of electrical engineering and PLC engineering is doing very well, and it has done very well. So can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Assuming this actually is an electrical engineer, not a systems electrical engineer, which could be different. I need degree, AutoCAD, MATLAB, SCADA, BMS, product. So this is what you're working on. So it could be like wheels or engines or brakes or circuit boards, whatever. DFM, DFT principles. I have no idea what those mean, but I saw them in a couple of them. Microsoft Project, Excel, Word, Outlook, schematics and layouts, analog circuit design, so amplifiers, filters, noise issues, and then possibly PLC. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Probably not, because it's a bad ratio, but again, this also could be incorrect based on what they want. I have to look these up live when I find these. So, and I have placed I think 2 electrical engineers in my career, but it's been a minute since I've placed them. So, and go. Okay, nothing can be used in the summary. Electrical engineering, okay, degree, good. I don't think we need the bachelor's. Troubleshoot inverter rapid shutdown faults over phone and CRM cases using, what is that? I think one of those is what I need. Single line diagrams I don't need. Process RMAs through Microsoft Dynamics. What is this? Okay, yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. Is this? I mean, okay, let me see this. I am in huge need of your help, and you are my only hope, I believe. I will be there for you. Princess Leia, that was a terrible reference, I'm sorry. I have been seeing your YouTube post. I posted my resume before, but my personal info, so now I deleted it. Good, do not dox yourself, please don't. I need help with my resume and want to know not getting any interviews. I've been relying on LinkedIn and ZipRecruiter for control systems and electrical engineer roles. I recently started attaching cover letters, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, you just don't have what they're looking for, right? Like, you try to... This is part of the problem, is you can't do this overcomplicated stuff on your resume. You can't try and impress us. It's not going to work. You need to have the basics, assuming this is an electrical engineer. So I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm just going to make the assumption this is an electrical engineer. But I followed your template. You did not. And redid some stuff and wanted to get some feedback. I really value this. Thanks in advance. So you did not follow my template. This is not my template. This is close to my template, but it is not it. So 1, there's no lines under here. Right? There's no line under here. 2, there is no summary. There is a reason there is no summary. The only times you ever need a summary is if you are relocating, explaining a visa, or you are changing industries. If it's not one of those 3, you don't need a summary. It does not help you. Again, for non-high-level directors and contractors, their resumes are completely different. So that is 2 things you did not do. In addition, this is not bolded. This should not be bolded, and this should be 1 line. Although in this case, I don't think you need this because you already have it here. So if you have your master's in the same thing that you have your bachelor's in, you don't need to put your bachelor's, you just need to put your master's. So this should be deleted because remember, you don't need it. This should be 1 line and not bolded, and you should not have this underline here. And then this can be deleted because that's okay, we don't need it. And then we go down to here, and again, this is the real problem because the issue is formatting can affect your chances, but bullet points are the biggest thing that will affect your chances. And there's nothing here that I need. I think inverter, right? I know I didn't see inverter. I don't see how you've done anything involving electrical engineering. Same with this. Maybe this is closer to what you're looking for a systems engineer, which maybe is closer to PLC, but you stated electrical engineer as well. Like this is the problem with this resume and why you're not getting anything is there's literally nothing here that would show that you meet these qualifications, right? Like wrote 4 technical troubleshooting guides for a new inverter line adopted company-wide to standardized diagnosis and efficiency is a well-written sentence, but it's not relevant, right? Like that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for this stuff, right? Like maybe you could go with troubleshooting guides because it shows you can work with others, but where is the MS Project, the Excel, the Word, the AutoCAD, the MATLAB, the maybe PLC, the electrical engineering, the circuit design, the power supplies, I'm not, or what you even worked on. Maybe it's in a project section. No, I don't see it either. Like, again, I'm not sure what you're going for, but this is what an electrical engineer would need in the United States, is this stuff. Maybe PLC. Again, you could probably lose the PLC and be fine, but this is the stuff. Unless you're going for like a PLC engineer, in which case, do I have that? I think I do. That would be considered a controls engineer, and what I would want for that is this stuff, which again, I don't see at all. I don't see any of them. So I need you to go back to the drawing board, and yeah, it is important that you follow my formatting, but I'd rather you get your bullet points better than your formatting right. Hopefully you get both. But like this stuff, both of these, I don't see anywhere in your resume, and you stated you were going for these roles, And it doesn't matter how many technical troubleshooting guides or Python scripts or data transfers. It doesn't matter because this is the stuff that they're looking for. Next resume. This is a UI UX designer. This person, we don't know their ratio, but what we do need, and I will read what they write after I do the 20 seconds, just to make sure it's fresh in my mind. So for a UI UX designer, we need UI UX design for mobile or web or other stuff. I'm not sure what else there would be besides mobile and web, but anything else. Figma, Sketch, Adobe, Illustrator, InVision, Adobe Creative, user research, user testing, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, managing multiple projects and meeting deadlines, explaining data to non-tech people, such as stakeholders, to improve user customer experience, and a bonus for AI. So, 20 seconds. And go. Okay. Degree, design and tested digital banking and services used by users on web. Okay. Do it in an agile environment. Created within the order defining usage. Okay. Led the UI design for consistency. No. Okay. So I'm not counting this because, again, internationals are going to have a harder time. It just is. But if this person, with the assumption this person wasn't an international, I actually don't think this would pass. Your first sentence is almost very good. And I'm not trying to be mean by saying that, but I like what you were doing here, right? Design, tested, and launched digital banking products and services. This shows what you did, right? You designed it, you tested it, you launched it. So 0 to 1. They really like that. It shows the industry, which they can very much like. Banking services used by over 4 million users across web and mobile and business platforms. All very good. And then here you also, this should be 2 sentences, but never one sentence per bullet point. It could be a long sentence, it could be a run-on sentence, but 1 sentence per bullet point. And then here, agile, research, prototyping, cross-functional teams, designers, pretty solid. And then you go down here, and then there's nothing else I need. So remember, you need 75% of these to move forward. Right now, as a international, you may need 100% because it's going to be way harder for you, or at least 85. But if you noticed, I did find the first part, right? UI, UX design. That one's good. I'm taking it away. You did it. Then I did find user research. I think the first 2 sentences counts, right? That's good. Maybe if we're being generous for usability testing as well. No, I'm not going to say that. And then that's it. Did you do explain complex topics to non-technical people? Not really, no. And that's the problem, is that's it. And if you notice, there's a ton of this. What about Figma? What about Sketch? What about Adobe, Illustrator, InVision, Adobe Creative Suites, usability testing, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, managing multiple projects and meeting deadlines, explain data to non-tech people and stakeholders to improve customer experience. Those are the things I'm missing. So let me read what you wrote. But that was what even if you were not a international, those things would get you rejected, or the lack of those things, I should say. I graduate in August of next year, and I'm looking for a job to sponsor me. Well, most jobs will not move you forward unless it's 3 months. You can start it in 3 months. There are some exceptions, but if you're applying to jobs by next, whatever it is, that is way unlikely that you are going to find a role just because you're starting in like 9-10 months later. You need to be able to start within 3 months for the vast majority of roles. Let's see. My brother did the same 5 years before me. We were in a better economy then. And he got a job that sponsors his green card. I know the situation is hard for internationals. I haven't received a single interview since I started actively looking. I have like 20 applications, not a single positive response. Okay, so first off, formatting-wise, your resume is mostly fine. I will say you don't need to say all of this. All you need to say is authorized to work in the U.S. for up to 3 years under an F1 STO OPP, which allows employment with any without visa. So you only need this, all right? You don't need this part. You just need this. Second off, this should be closer together, right? This should be closer. Other than that, that's the only formatting issues I think I really found. And I think these should be closer as well. the bigger issue is, again, you don't show... Actually, no. Before I even go into that, is you only applied to 20 roles. Bro, I don't mean to be mean here, but like because of the visa changes. So before the visa changes, right? I had candidates come to me and it took them over 500 applications to get an interview. After the visa candidates specifically used my format, they usually got a job one every 25, I'd say one every 30, right? We're going to average it out, about 1 to 30. So every 1 to 30 applications, they would get an interview because of the visa. For non-immigration candidates, it's usually 1 in 7. After those changes, that same successful resume where this person did get a job, took them close to 100 to 1. So I hate to say it, but 20 is not going to be enough. 20 would not be enough for a U.S. citizen or green card holder. You absolutely will need to up the volume of your applications by an insane amount because 20 is not enough. And again, I don't think they're going to hire you that early. Usually, if you can't start within 3 months, they won't process. Again, there are exceptions, but this is the most cases. So once we get to the part where you're able to start working, I will say you need to fix this part of the bullet points in your resume because you don't tell me this stuff, right? Like, again, it's nice that you had over 4 million users. It's nice that you had UI UX projects, but where's the basic stuff? Where's the Figma? Where's the whatever else I said right here? The Sketch, the Adobe, the usability testing, the JavaScript. This is the stuff that will get you a job. You already had the other stuff, right? That's good. You had the user research and the UI UX design for whatever, but you need the rest of it because that's just not enough. So you don't have enough in almost every regard. You don't have enough qualifications to move you forward, and you don't have enough applications. So let's go to the next resume. We have got a software engineer intern. So there are only 4 things interns always need, unless you're a master's or a PhD. Those are slightly more complicated. But for every other type of intern, including not software engineer, I mean, we're talking like accounting and, well, there's no real recruiting interns. But if there were recruiting interns, software engineer interns, and every other job that I cannot think of for some reason right now, is 4 things. We need your degree, a basic knowledge of that part of the industry, which in software is going to be language, library, SQL, cloud, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of AI there. The ability to work well with others, and that you can take direction and criticism, and that's it. That's it. Like, you're not asking to be like lead people. You're there to learn. You're there to be told what to do. You're there to basically work on possibly grunt work. Sometimes you can do some non-grunt work, but, you know, that's the nature of the job. So, can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Probably not. This is a 1 in 150, so I'm assuming that it's a no. All right. 20 seconds and go. Okay, degree, good. Built a Python, okay, good. Using Google Maps API, okay. Reducing the platform, I don't care about that. Engineering full pipeline for data, that's not related. Kind of like that, written wrong, but I do like it. Built a generative AI chatbot, and that's it. Okay, let me read what you wrote. Change up my resume. Capital, I should put some stuff on your resume. So, you have a couple of problems. One, formatting. Again, this needs to be one line, should not be bolded. This, you can probably delete that, and you should definitely delete that. All right. You know what? I'm going to keep this because it's a concentration that's slightly different, so you can keep that, but you should delete the relevant coursework. There should be no underline here. This should be deleted, not deleted, unbolded. And then we get to the real problem here, though, is the bullet points. So, built a Python, good. You immediately start with Python. That is something I'm looking for. Based route optimization system. I don't know what that is, but I can guess. Good way to write it. Using Google Maps API. Okay. And graph algorithms, don't care. Reducing planning time across a nationwide sales network by 31%. Boo. Don't care. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying, and this person is in chat right now, so they can hopefully not be upset, and then we can talk about it after. They're in my live stream. But, like, this is not what they're looking for, right? You know what I would have liked you to say instead? Built a Python-based route optimization system using, so far so good, APIs, right? You can just say APIs, SQL, and maybe a library that reduced planning time for a drive across the United States, right? Like this 31% network means nothing. There's no context. There is no internship that on the job description is saying you need to reduce planning time across a nationwide sales network by 31%. That is unnecessary information. It's not a brag, and we don't want you to. We just want you to show what you've done, and this doesn't do it. So I need a little bit more there, right? I need more of the actual keywords that I'd be looking for a full stack, or sorry, any software engineer, not full stack specifically, and less of the percentages. And then we go down here, and there's nothing here. Like, this is not in any job description. So there's nothing here that could be used. And then this one, as I said, I liked what you had, but you wrote it wrong. I liked what you were going for here, right? This shows that you can take direction and work with people. But you, instead of writing it with collaborated with sales team, just say worked with the sales operation teams weekly, where I went to requirement gathering meetings, one-on-ones, and received feedback on my work. That would give you everything you needed. And then here, generative AI is fine. Well, I mean, it is for the resume. And nothing else, though. We have SQL is good, and then more AI. But if you notice, the only thing I really found were API and Python. I need more stuff. Like, where's the SQL? Where's the HTML, CSS if it was full stack? Where's the Git, the Docker, the AWS, the Jira, not Jira, sorry. The Git, the Docker, the AWS, the RESTful APIs, the CI/CD, the LangChain, the Skibbity Learn. I don't see any of those. There's a skill section at the bottom, but again, skill sections don't count. You have to show them here. So this is a case of this person just does not have it, right? And it doesn't matter how pretty your resume is. If you don't have these qualifications, you're not moving forward. So I'm going to help this person out more because they're in the stream. For everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is another software engineer intern. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we already know what we're looking for. So 20 seconds. Can I find it? And go. Okay, good, clean. All right, implementing application code assist full stack using Python, C++, Java, TypeScript. Okay. Deploying scaled Docker using Golang, Microsoft Kubernetes. Okay. Developed with Docker SQL. Get control. Okay. Took direction from lead professional use SDLC and agile methodology during launch week. Okay. This is better than the previous one. And also this has a 1 in 100 instead of 1 in 150. So you can tell the formatting is better, but I want to focus again more on the bullet points because the bullet points are the things that matter the most. So there are a couple of issues with this. It's going to be the exact opposite of the last resumes. There's too much here, right? You want on average between 3 to 8 bullet points. But as a intern, you probably only want about 3 to 4 bullet points per job. Mainly because they're just very short stints. Although in this case, you've been there for like a year and a half, which is kind of crazy. Because like down here, it's been like almost a year and a half. Up here, it's been a year. So I'm actually really confused about the dates of your employment. Here makes sense, at least, because you're a STEM instructor. But let me read. This is my changed resume following what you suggested in your videos. I have been landing interviews at large tech like Google, OpenAI with my previous, but never gotten a small company. I've probably applied over 500 at this point. I'm a junior and I want to land something soon. Okay. So this is not bad. This is better, but there are some changes we will need to make. So first off, implemented university application code assist full stack. That's way too much, right? You've now slipped into the other way of sort of overloading the stuff. So I want you to step back, and instead of saying all of this, I want you to say created a full stack system using Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript to grade students' papers with AI, such as Claude, and you just put Claude in ChatGPT, because Claude should actually be enough. That way it shrinks it. Now, you notice I missed C++. It's fine. You could probably include that or not, but most of these software roles are going to want C#. So you could probably safely leave that. And then here, There's nothing I really need, right? Docker is nice, but the rest of it I don't need. But you already mentioned Docker here and Angular and way too much other stuff. So delete this. I don't think there's really anything here. Then we go to here, and I want you to keep Docker. I want you to keep SQL. I like Angular. I like RESTful API, but you've already mentioned JavaScript and TypeScript up in the top, so you can delete them here. You never want to repeat the same keyword in the same job. You want to repeat it in other jobs, but not the same. So as an example, this person had, what was it? JavaScript, right? So JavaScript here, good. JavaScript here, bad. JavaScript down here, good. So don't double it up in the same job. That'll save you some space, but otherwise that is correct. And then this is okay. And then I don't think there's anything I need here. And then you should be able to combine these, right? Worked bi-weekly with other intern teams and leaders, where I took direction from the lead professor on how to use SDLC and Agile methodology during our launch week. That is how I want you to write it. So again, is this a garbage, disgusting resume? No, not at all. This is definitely salvageable. You just kind of went in the other direction and you went way too much. You should have about 4 bullet points for each of these. And I think you can shrink this down and combine them. And then once you do that, you should have a lot more success. But you're definitely on the right track, all right? I want to be clear. You're definitely on the right track. It just, this is your second time, so I'm being extra picky. Now, that is it for me for this video. I want to thank you all for watching and subscribing and, sharing it with your friends and family and reposting and commenting. That really does help me out. The YouTube algorithm is a fickle thing that I do not understand. All I know is those things help me out. And I wanted to thank my members who get access to my videos early. Thank you very much. I very, very, very much appreciate it. And if you ever need any more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you in the next video.